rainy, foggy, and windy conditions are almost ideal for stalking, which is the most difficult and most challenging way in order to try and harvest a white-tailed deer, especially a mature buck. All I'm doing is slipping along ridges and benches, ensuring that I'm walking either in a crosswind or walking into the wind to prevent my scent from moving ahead of me and spooking the deer. I'm going to areas that I have scouted before where I know there's an abundance of food sources available for the deer to feed on. The goal is to slip in quietly, looking more than walking. You want to look much further ahead than your walking speed dictates. Stopping slowly to look in different areas to make sure you're seeing everything that's out there. Because with the fog, you never can tell what's going to roll in with it. This is Tuesday, I think this is October the 5th, and this is the second day of our muzzleloader season in my home state. And just to catch you up, I've been doing some bow hunting, trying to find that ghost, that mature buck that we're after. And actually I've seen 3 bucks. One small spike, one cow horn spike, and when I say cow horn, it means it's got, antlers 10 to 12 inches tall. And then we videoed that little 4-point that we saw the other day. So we're still looking for that mature buck. And in my home state, you can only take 2. So that's why I'm very selective. The other reason why I'm very selective is that this area of the national forest that I hunt in needs to be managed. The buck to doe ratio is so far out of balance now. Just seeing a buck. And then if you say, okay, what's the ratio if I look at just a mature buck? It's extremely low. It's probably, I want to say 25, 30 to 1. That's your odds of seeing a mature buck up here. So I try to do a little management when I'm up here, but the conditions have not changed that much. Look at this. We still got rain and fog, and it rained heavily last night, so I got my rubber boots on because I'm sure I'm going to be going through some creeks and muddy areas. So we're going to go in, see if we can get something done this morning. All right, as you can see, the rain settled in. I actually got it right today, part of the day. So I made me this little lean-to here out of this tarp. I brought it in with some rope because I thought, well, they might get it right today. So we're going to stay in here for a little while, hopefully wait the rain out, and maybe we'll get some action if the rain stops. And if the rain doesn't stop, then we're just going to ease on out. Wet weather and muzzle loaders don't go too well, or with all this camera gear. So we're going to sit here. I basically came in and I hit a few benches on the way up that I had scouted. They had a lot of acorns on them, and saw 2 deer, the 1 doe we got on video, but coming up here I didn't see anything else. So it's one of those things when you're in the woods, sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't, so you just gotta be persistent. So we swung around those benches and come back into this real thick area. So sometimes they bed in here and sometimes they bed in openings, so it just remains to be seen. Now I'm in a crosswind. Now when I was stalking this morning, I was in a crosswind and downwind, so the wind was in my face. Last thing you want to do is stalk with the wind at your back and blowing your scent in front of you and spooking all the game out. So we're going to sit here for a little while and maybe something will happen. Something good will come in that we can shoot. Maybe the ghost will show up. All right, this doe came in and her fawn was approximately 40 to 50 yards behind her after that first set that came in while it was still slightly foggy.
once again, this is a primary example of when you have a weather change, a weather pattern change while you're in the woods, it'll benefit you as a hunter to stay in your stand. Don't just get up and leave, but stick around, because the deer went from bedding now to they're up there on their feet and they're looking to feed. I'm still in the same area. I had actually taken down the blue tarp, and I really don't recommend taking a blue tarp into the woods because it's highly visible to the deer's vision. They pick up on it really quick. But this just goes to show you, if the weather pattern changes, stay in the woods.
Okay, I'm gonna put a wrap on today's hunt. Pretty much rained from, I'm gonna say 10:30 to 1 o'clock. So the meteorologist got it halfway right today. It didn't rain this morning. It was supposed to. I came in, hunted till 10, stalking. We saw one doe. I got that one on video. And then when it started raining, I took my tarp out, made a shelter, just a basic lean-to, and I stayed underneath that until 1 o'clock. Once the rain stopped, it changed the dynamic again. It's just like I've been telling you, stay in the woods. I mean, if it's snowing and it stops, stick around. Don't just bail. And I ended up seeing 4 more deer, 2 does and 2 fawns. So I didn't see any bucks tonight. But on the plus side, I did find an area that's got a tremendous amount of apples. And they're starting to drop too. So I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Okay, real quick, I want to apologize for the grainy footage. I was using a different camera and it just didn't pick up enough light to make the picture that clear. I tried to zoom in on this little buck that came through. Obviously, he's not a shooter, and I'm 100% sure this is the same 4-point that we had videoed about a week ago when we had the foggy and rainy conditions. So I'm basically in my tree stand watching, and I had a doe come through and had this little 4-point come through. So we didn't have anything to shoot that we wanted to shoot, but still overall was a productive day.
Okay, as you can tell, it's been pretty messy this morning. The forecast was supposed to rain all morning till about 2 o'clock, but I got that wrong again, fortunately. Got in here good and early this morning. The temperatures are dropping probably 15-20 degrees by the end of the day, so it was a great day to be in the woods. Saw 2 does, and I had actually a little 4-point come back through here. I think it's the same one I saw the last time. It's a little after 11, so I don't know how long I'm gonna stay in here. I'm still about 1.6 miles deep in National Forest. This area I've been hunting because I found quite a bit of deer sign, and I have been seeing quite a few deers. Just haven't had that mature buck come out. So if the weather will turn just a little bit so we can get that change in the dynamic, maybe the deer get up on their feet and I can get something on the ground. We're gonna hang in there a little bit longer. We'll see what happens. So hope you enjoyed this. See you next time.